2.5, dividing rational numbers. When we divide rational numbers, we have to look at their signs just as we did when we were dividing integers. So if we're dividing rational numbers with the same sign, the result's going to be positive. If we're dividing rational numbers with different signs, the result will be negative. Same sign positive, different sign negative. Okay, so just write those rules in your notes and complete a few check boxes. Okay, now remember, rational numbers are fractions and decimals. So first we have to remember, how do we divide fractions? And there's a very special rule with dividing fractions, and that is keep, change, flip. We keep the first fraction the same. We change the sign to be a multiplication, and then we flip the second fraction. That means we're creating the reciprocal. Okay, we're flipping it. So then remember, now we just have to multiply our fractions, which we just multiply straight across. 5 times 7 is 35. 6 times 4 is 24. Now we have to look at our signs. They both have the same sign, so our answer is positive. You will notice this is an improper fraction, and it is completely fine for you to leave it in this form. You do not need to change it to a mixed number. Okay, let's look at the second one. On this second example, the first thing we need to do is we need to change this mixed number into an improper. That means we need to multiply that 4 times that 1 and then add the 1. So that means that becomes 5/4. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 1 is 5. Keep the same denominator. So our problem then becomes 5/4 divided by -2/3. We need to apply our rule of keep, change, flip. That means keep that one the same, change our division to a multiplication, and flip our final fraction. Top goes on bottom, bottom goes on top. Okay, and then with multiplying fractions, we just multiply straight across. That means 5 times 3 is 15, 4 times 2 is 8. Now this has a positive, this is a negative, so there are different signs, so our answer must be a negative. Again, you will notice this is an improper fraction. That is completely fine, so long as it is in simplest form. Okay, now I guess time for you to write in your notes about how to divide fractions. What is the special rule you must follow? Okay, dividing decimals. Decimals are a little tricky sometimes, but we can first set it up just as we would a normal long division problem. When we have this first number, that's the number that's going to go inside the box. The first number goes in the box. The second number goes outside. -1.26 divided by 4.2. First number in the box, second number outside. We're going to ignore the signs for now, but now we need to deal with the decimal place. When we're dividing decimals, our divisor, the number outside the box, should not have any decimals. No decimals there, right, for our divisor. This is our divisor. That means we have to move this one spot this way, right? We want to move it so now there are no decimals in our divisor. If we move it one spot here, we also have to move it in our one here, in our dividend. Okay, so this then becomes 42 on the outside and 12.6 on the inside, right? We moved that there, move that there. If there were 2 decimal places on the outside, we would have to move 2 decimal places on the inside. You have to move the same amount. So now this problem becomes 12.6 divided by 42. And we ask ourselves, how many times can 42 go into 1, 0 times. Into 12 is 0 times. But how many times can it go into 12.6? 3 times. 3 times 42 is, and we subtract, and we get a 0. So we're done. So our answer then becomes 0.3, but this is negative and this is positive. We have different signs, so our answer is a negative. Okay, remember when dividing decimals, your divisor should never have any decimals. So you need to move it and then therefore move it in the dividend as well. All right, time for you to write in your notes about how you would move your decimal place in that example I have, and then for you to complete 2 practice problems. For this first practice problem here, we have negative 4.2 divided by 2.1. I am going to put this into a division problem by simply reading it as 4.2 divided by 2.1. I'm not going to worry about the signs for now. Instead, I'm going to worry about moving this decimal. So then our problem becomes 42 divided by 21. Once you have your answer up here, then you need to look at your signs. You have one negative, one positive. They are different. So what should your final sign be? What goes here? Okay, on this next one, they're already in nice form. So all we have to do when we divide is we have to apply our rule of keep, change, flip, right? Keep this one the same, change it from a division to a multiplication, and then flip this last one, right? And then multiplying fractions, we just multiply straight across. We ignore the signs for now and just multiply the numbers. So you're going to get some number here and some number there. Then you have to deal with the signs. This one's negative and this one's negative. So what does same signs make this? All right, and that is the end of 2.5.